good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting edition of the Stick to the Plan podcast. My name is Kevin. I'm here, of course, with Russ and Kix. We were supposed to have a guest today, but
how's it going, Kevin?
I suck, so it's going great. Let me get you up. There we are.
So, the best podcast intro music in the business.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is I found out
I say that all the time.
There's a show I listen to quite a bit that uses that exact same song for their they call them their.
Did you steal it from them or did they?
No, they stole it from me, I believe, because their show they changed their show, but they do it for their plugs.
We have a lot of issues on this show.
Yeah,
but the intro music is now not one.
No, we figured that out pretty well.
Like Rescue Michigan, he puts on some different weird string thing every week that you think, what the hell is that?
Right.
But no, I like that one.
No, that was a good one. I found that just randomly. I didn't like the first one we had, so.
But I'm Kevin.
You're Kevin?
No. You're Kevin? I forgot who I am.
You also are Kevin. I mean, if you go by your...
Kevin.
Shouldn't be now.
I'm Russ, and we're here today with Kix. Kevin already introduced himself, and here we are with another episode of Stick to the Plan podcast.
Yeah.
Now, we did have a guest. We had the smart and beautiful Amber Harris scheduled.
Yeah, she was ready to go too. Virtual, she was sitting there ready to go.
Let me tell you, Amber is a podcast star in the political world. She does a ton of them. And to me, she's just going to drive and do the stream driving down the road because she's on one of them. She is very politically active. I coined the phrase with John Smith because John Smith has no more title anymore. He's a Michigan Republican activist.
Right.
Yeah. And Amber's that plus.
That's a word.
She will be at the, we had technical difficulties. We made the executive decision to do it, the three of us. We always like it when it's three of us.
But it's going to work out, right? Because she's going to be on her way back from the inauguration. We're
going to see if I hope that's the case.
That's what she said.
Right.
And then we can talk to her, find out firsthand how everything went.
Right. Because I said, hey, why don't we just three of us do it? Amber, we'll bring you on next week. I forgot she'll be at the inauguration.
Nice.
Representing the brand new party.
Right.
And she goes, yeah, I'll be on my way home and I'll do it from there. And Kix, you said it. Oh my God, we can talk about firsthand what happened and how exciting it was at the inauguration.
Right.
That brings up a point, guys. We didn't talk about it before the stream. So we're on at 2 o'clock, inaugurations at noon. That lasts several hours.
Right.
What should we do about that? Just talk about what happened? Can we set up a screen and maybe start streaming live?
Well, I mean, we could live stream.
I mean, we can.
Why don't we comment? Maybe we're out there even talking about this. Start at noon and commentary the stream through the inauguration.
So what you're saying is everybody needs to click in, watch us while we react to the inauguration live.
Sounds like a nightmare for me.
It does sound like a nightmare?
Absolutely.
It sounds like a nightmare for me because I have to be here at noon.
It sounds like you'll have to be here at 10.
Oh, fuck me.
10?
No, we'll talk about that after the stream. It's a great idea.
No, yeah, definitely. I think it would work.
And
we can put it on that TV.
Yeah, that way we can watch it up there.
And I can stream it through
that. You can stream it up there.
There's nothing up there to watch it.
Yeah, well, that's not true. I'll stream it. It'll be through my laptop into there, back through the recording.
We'll watch it.
But actually, what we would need is the stream, have the inauguration, and then us just talking.
Well, we could do it that way too.
It does make my job a little easier.
Then we don't have to worry about any camera, just audio.
Sure.
Well, I would think we want a little bit of video.
Well, we can figure that out.
But anyway,
we'll talk about that more. There could be huge shit coming for Stick to the Plan podcast next week.
Right.
That's if we want to work that hard. I'm going to tell you. Well,
I don't want to work that hard.
I can't talk for Kix very much because he has proven to be a pretty hard worker. But Kevin is related to me, and Jenningses tend to be lazy.
Yeah, especially anytime before noon.
I always say I shouldn't call myself lazy. I hate prep because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
I have a lot on my plate, but I love to delegate because I'm lazy.
Yeah, but coming from my side of things, right? I don't see it as lazy. I see it sometimes as just frustration, right? Because we do these live shows. We have people that watch, but you know what they don't do? They don't share.
No.
They don't like. They don't comment.
They do on my show.
But see, on this show, they don't. And because of that, we can't have a bigger reach, and we don't have the views.
It's because we need more viewers. We need viewers.
Right.
Period.
And that's where you help us out,
So-
because then you can share it, and it puts it out to more potential people that will listen to us.
Yeah, follow this channel, like this video, share it to all your people. I know you're on freaking X, you're on Facebook. Your grandma will like this show, don't worry.
I've been saying it for years with the Jackson GOP when we're promoting an event. There's 4 people that push the share button. I don't know if they don't understand it or what, or what concerns me is active GOP members might not want, I don't want people on my news feed to know I'm part of the GOP. Well, why? I don't know. I've never hit the share. Just hit the share.
It comes down to trust,
You don't
man.
even have to comment. You just share.
It comes down to trust, though. Most Republicans don't trust technology. Let's just be real.
We were just talking about
But
that.
but they have to actively choose to watch this show, which if they don't trust this show. But that reminds me, guys, we're also on YouTube today. We're on YouTube
Okay,
and
good.
Rumble.
Good.
So no big deal. I just dropped an F-bomb in the first 15 minutes.
It's
so
okay.
No, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
They'll be fine.
So
They already know about me.
if you're-
YouTube separate.
Yeah, if you're watching us on YouTube and we all of a sudden disappear, it's because we probably said
Go
some
to
dumb
Rumble,
shit.
rumble.com/c/stick to the plan.
So
That's the
there
best place
are.
anyway.
I have learned this about YouTube: do not say anything about the view.
Don't say anything about really anything that
'Cause-
isn't plants.
Well, no, because the cackling hens of the view will get you shut down.
I love the View, especially Whoopi Goldberg. I love it. I
They will
watch it
get
as
you
often
shut
as I
down.
can.
Stop kissing ass.
How's that sound?
I don't even think you can say their name. I think we're already in violation
Right.
of terms of service.
So again, if you lose us on YouTube, jump over to Rumble.
All right, we're gonna do some news.
we won't be. We'll be fine. Yeah, let's do some news.
All right, like I said often, I suck at prep. I don't like it.
Yeah, I didn't even
I
think
put
about
the
it.
headlines. All right, guys, please, if you find a news article or anything you want to share news-wise, especially pertaining to Jackson County, please put it to the Stick to Plan Facebook page. I've been doing that. So if you want a source of what I think is a cool news story, Stick to Plan podcast. I put a dozen or so on there this last week, and thankfully I did, because me not liking to do prep, I just went to that page and I wrote down
There it is.
some of them items.
That's what I do too.
Yeah. I really should, I was just sitting in my chair doing absolutely nothing last night. I very well could have been jotting some
Right.
stuff
Yeah.
down.
Well, I mean, when you came up with this plan, I didn't say, but the first thing I thought of was like, so you're gonna bring us news stories, right? Because I'm not going to do it.
No, I'm the only one that's done it so far.
Yeah.
I've been too busy.
And I'm the guy that doesn't like prep.
I've been busy ice skating with 40-year-old men, so
Yeah.
That's
aren't you?
crazy.
I
All
know,
right,
bro.
that's part of the news, but we're going to be nice to respect
That's nice.
the tragedy that's happened.
In our group chat, I said that it is sad.
It's
So I said
It
other
is.
things, but I also said it's sad.
all
It
right.
is sad.
There's no rhyme or reason here. Where the hell did I start?
I could rhyme. We could be a rap.
Oh, right here. First news item. Last week we reported that a couple of 40-something-year-old men were enjoying ice skating together, and one of them tragically
They were enjoying it, then they weren't enjoying it all of a sudden.
Tragically,
they weren't playing hockey or ice fishing. They were ice skating.
they were figure skating.
They're figure skating. All right, but anyways, one of them sadly fell through the ice. It's been
Yep.
reported that he has since passed away.
Oh, yes.
Very sad. Now, I read the obituary. The individual that passed away was like on the Grass Lake Village Board, and
Was he?
oh,
I didn't know that.
I didn't even read the names.
he was active in the community. So
I didn't realize that.
Huh.
I don't live in that community, probably for a reason. Grass Lake's a beautiful place. I don't live far away.
We live pretty close to Grass Lake.
I throw a stone and hit Grass Lake almost.
I used to run to Grass Lake.
But they lost somebody active in their community. So condolences.
Yes.
Condolences for sure.
That's right. Definitely.
And thank you to the first responders, because I know firsthand it's been a very long time.
It was a multiple first responder situation, right? Napoleon was there. County was there.
Well, you got to remember, Grass Lake probably doesn't have a lot of on-duty, ready to go firefighters and rescue teams.
Right.
This is where this stream always goes. Napoleon does have a full-time guy or two always.
Yeah, Napoleon does, but Grass Lake does not.
Doesn't. Back when I was on Napoleon, we didn't.
Yeah, but Napoleon has a guy or two. Grass Lake has a guy or two. Leone or Blackman has a guy or two.
Hats off to their first responders.
Yes, absolutely.
I've dug people out of the water before, and it sucks.
Yep.
And so hats off to first responders.
I agree.
For dealing with that. It's horrible. First responders are badasses, but that wears on you after years of doing that.
Right.
You never get used to it. So that's that. This isn't Jackson. Oh, let's go to keep with Jackson news. Jackson homeless situation. It's popped up just recently. There's an organization in town called Residents in Action. Residents in Action obtained the sales contract over a year ago to locate in the old T.A. Wilson School at the corner of Morrell and Blackstone. Mm-hmm. There was a purchase agreement and all this. Until then, they were able to rent it for $1 a month. That's where the pallet houses went last year. The question was, where's the pallet houses? Well, they couldn't put the pallet houses up because things weren't set up. So they get digging, and they're like, why isn't this a homeless shelter yet? Mm-hmm. And guys, I've only picked up, I haven't been involved in these conversations, but I'm going to go back. Over a year ago, there was a couple of nonprofits trying to get the old school for a homeless shelter. One of them being the Interfaith, who's been at this for many years,
right.
and they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then there was Residents in Action, who didn't even have a nonprofit status yet. And the mayor convinced the city council to give it to Residents in Action. I know for a fact they've received $1.5 grant. There's been word that they've received $2.5 grants, and for some reason they still haven't bought the school.
So they have $1 million over the course of 2 grants. They got $1 million.
Okay, no.
Did I misheard?
I know for sure they received $500,000.
Yep. And then a second half.
I personally can't be positive of that, but there's been reports that they did receive a second half.
So potentially.
They potentially, it looks like they received $1 million.
Right. And did absolutely nothing?
Nothing. They're still renting the building for $1 a month. The pallets aren't out there. So I read a list on MLive that I'm telling you, some of the people involved with this are watch the stream. And all the comments in Facebook, by the way, Darius from Fox 47.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not from Force 47, Fox 47.
Fox 47.
He's a great reporter. He's been prying into it a little bit. But I had a week prior to this being exposed, I read a list of where people could go to get warm. Mm-hmm. And Residents in Action in the old school wasn't one of them.
Really?
I didn't even know they were putting homeless in there, but I guess there's a dozen or so homeless people there.
But how can you put homeless people there if you can't go there to get warm?
Why weren't they listed as a warming spot?
Well, that's what I mean.
By the way, speak of the warming, you can go to the MLK Center during business hours.
Yep.
Everything was business hours. The only place you can go in the middle of the night to get warm is the
interfaith shelter.
That's what they listed.
And then they're too full and they turn people away.
You go to the library, you go to all these places.
And you can't go to the interfaith shelter drunk or high. So where are you going to go if you're drunk and high and cold?
Here's
well,
where
if you're drunk enough and high enough, you don't feel the cold. So I guess that's a win.
Jackson sucks at taking care of our homeless.
Absolutely.
There's one organization that does a pretty good job, but they're limited in what they can do, and that's the Interfaith. This town sucks.
It's across the board. no cities that know how to do it well.
And listen, I smell shit with this $500,000
Oh, yeah.
million.
Yeah, there's something up with that.
Somebody enjoyed a great vacation and has bought a new car.
Well,
with that money.
hopefully, if Darius is looking into it, he's going to discover who's friends with who, where the money went. Follow the money, right?
So
Yeah, but what good is it going to do? I mean,
listen, if legitimate fraud is exposed,
Uh-huh.
I know a group of people, they're going to run with that.
yeah, but
And-
that $500,000 is gone. It's already spent. It's already
and you know
spent.
what?
Send them to prison. What are you going to do?
That
Pay
half-
for them the rest of their life?
That $500,000 has nothing to do with the city. That
Oh,
was a
nice.
state grant.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the state's problem.
So
Yeah.
I don't know the ramifications of a state grant if you violate it. I'm not saying they did violate it, but let me tell you, they haven't purchased a school and they are not
Yeah.
taking care of homeless there
How much
yet.
do you think a school
That's
cost?
where they should.
Do you know how much a school?
150 grand.
So
Because it's pretty run down,
Okay,
right?
Guys, hold on.
Wilson's
that
kind
part.
of run
Okay.
They're doing a
down.
lot of work. All right. The city
no, 150 grand is a good.
The city sold that big old building for 150 grand after purchasing it for 150 grand or something,
Right.
and then put $350,000 worth of repairs in it, and still sold it to Residents of Action for 150 grand. They didn't have the money. They said, "Okay, fine, you can have it for $1 a month until you get the money."
Okay. So
Okay.
okay, I misunderstood. So this is a private organization that hasn't busted.
Right.
Right.
They're
It's a
basically
nonprofit.
on land contract for $1 a month.
And they've exceeded the purchase agreement to purchase it several months ago.
But if you default on the purchase agreement, then
Well,
it goes back to the city to sell it
city's-
again.
The
Right.
city's still spreading it for $1 a month.
Because the city doesn't want to deal with that property. They got
Okay.
enough of their own.
Hold on, guys. Residents in Action says, we haven't been able to secure the funding. We think we got another grant coming. We're dependent on the other grant.
Robin Pot,
Here's
you
my
to pay
thing.
Paul.
If you've got $500,000 and you go to the bank, wait, why didn't you buy it with the first $500,000?
I guess
Yeah.
it
And
could
then
be
at $350,000.
it could be in the writing on what the grant is actually for.
Yeah, it does. But then
They
should-
may not be in the grant that they can purchase the property.
Well, why
the
get
grant
the
money
grant?
might
That
just
was-
because the grant money might be the way the state could say, "Hey, look, we're giving this money to these organizations to help the homeless." It's kind of it's in the
Here's my
it's got to
opinion.
be in the fine print.
Senator Sue Shink, and the city mayor, I think, were duped, and there could possibly be they're in on it.
We all know how I feel as a city mayor.
My feeling is I smell poo. Check the bottom of your shoe.
Right.
I'm not certain there's fraud. Something don't smell right, guys. And there's people cold with no place to go.
Especially right now, polar vortex coming down. It's getting colder.
Man,
The thing is too is that I mean we know what people do with these grants, and I think what happened is like, hey, let's take this money and let's spend it here for whatever reason. Not saying it's fraudulent, but for whatever reason, because guess what, we're going to get another grant, and then they did it again. Guess what, we'll get another grant.
Yeah.
But then there wasn't another grant.
Right. Eventually,
We've
there
all
won't
done
be
that.
a grant.
We've all done that, and we know how shady some of these homeless advocates companies
so
can be.
Right.
well, and it doesn't stop at homeless. I hate to say it. You people watching the stream are really going to be pissed at me. Right to life. Do you think they really wanted Roe v. Wade overturned? That almost put
no.
them out of business. The only reason they're in business because Michigan's still an abortion state.
And, well, Roe v. Wade didn't have anything to do with your abortion rights anyway. Just let the state decide. So,
Right.
I mean,
Okay, but my point here is, if you're an organization huge like Right to Life, do you really want Roe v. Wade
oh
really
no,
overturned?
you no.
You don't want to risk why you've existed
Well,
for all these years.
but the other side of that coin is they are not strictly about that, right?
Who's
so,
they?
Right to life. They're not
Okay.
strictly about
Well-
the fight for abortion. They switch gears and they're like, now we're going to help you with prenatal and we're going to do all this kind of stuff.
No. Do not confuse Right to Life with Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood is a doctor's office that also does abortions. Right to Life is the fights for right to life, abortion rights.
Correct,
Or
but
they
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 also
don't do the prenatal and stuff like that. They
No,
give
no.
you
No,
information.
I'm not saying that they're a doctor's office. What I'm saying is they help you
Well, what they
in
do,
that.
listen, we know people very close within the Jackson GOP that are all about right to life.
Yeah.
The organization.
Yeah,
Itself.
it's a great
Right,
organization.
They stand out in front of Planned Parenthood with signs saying
They
"We can
stand out
help."
religiously.
If you are pregnant and you need help and you go to Right to Life,
Right.
they will provide options for you other
Yes.
than abortion.
Right.
Yes.
So they do more than just right.
But that's their main mindset. The fact of right to life. It's based around the abortion, or other options, alternative options.
Alternative
to abortion.
options, correct.
If abortion was totally eliminated everywhere, the organization wouldn't exist now, would it?
Nope. That's what I'm saying. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I
We're
wish
on the same page now.
I
Yes.
wished I wouldn't have used Right to Life, but a lot of nonprofits out there exist because of the problem. And do they really want the problem to go away? Because
And,
they wouldn't exist. People
I
make
agree.
a living off those nonprofits.
I agree, but I think sometimes they start out with the intention
I think
of
so too.
we're going to abolish this, and then we're just going to go away.
Yeah, but money. Makes
But then once they
everybody
start
evil.
making that money, it becomes a catch-22.
The director makes.
It's like prison.
Yeah, you got to have it.
You're rehabilitating people to get them back out in society, but the correction officer's hoping you catch them again or catch the next guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Prisons would go out of business without recidivism.
You got to have
exactly.
recidivism.
If they didn't have any recidivism, the prisons would be empty and there would
Exactly.
be no correction
they
officer
make an
jobs.
attempt to correct them,
No.
but they're really not out to correct them.
Well, originally, there's like the three different reasons for jailing or prison. It was rehabilitation, incarceration, and what's the third one?
Punishment is one of them.
Yeah.
Punishment.
Punishment, and then incarceration, which is just keeping them away from society, and then punishment. And
rehabilitation.
unfortunately, it's become more into just recidivism. They added a fourth one.
Originally, and still, the reason for incarceration is because you're a threat to society
Right.
at some level.
Yes.
But my impression or the next guy's impression of threat to society might be different.
That's right.
Because there's a lot of what we might think of victimless crimes.
Right.
But then you look at the advocates say, well, yeah, that guy's a drug user, this and that, and so he's only hurting himself. Well, what did he steal to get the drugs?
Yeah, but
You know.
also you get the people that go, well, it's a victimless crime. He's just a drug user. He's just hurting himself. Well, he's a victim.
Right.
He's hurting
He's
himself.
victimizing
go,
himself.
So much for the news off
Yeah.
the rails there.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that went
That might
that
be-
went that went bad. Anyways, what else do we got?
You're correct. Jackson and a lot of cities have a homeless problem.
Yes.
They attempted half-ass last year to help alleviate it, and it's been a debacle.
It always has been. I mean,
Right.
they've done it before.
And we won't go into it, but Kevin, on a business end, I tried to help a homeless organization,
Yep.
and they were shitty to deal with.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
there was an incident.
There was an incident.
All right. So, homeless.
I almost got wrapped up in that.
Yeah,
That was an interesting winter.
I had a girl almost try to beat me up over that.
Yeah, I know. Little.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, continue.
Yeah. Next.
we're not
This
gonna
is in
talk about
Jackson News. You guys read the article about the Washtenaw County Sheriff?
No.
I did not.
The Washtenaw County Sheriff is pansexual.
Okay.
All right, and you know what? Fine. If you want to hump pans, you can hump pans.
Right.
I mean, that's
Whatever. But
is he a chef? Because that's a problem.
Just don't go to the restaurant.
Yeah, that restaurant's not gonna be fun.
this sauteed is funny.
Yay.
Salty.
Okay. But anyways,
High protein.
I knew that the newly elected Washtenaw County Sheriff was a pansexual. But an article came out in some news agency, I forget what, where they interviewed her or took in what she'd like to do with the sheriff's
Is she
department.
hot?
No.
Okay, well that's then
She kind of looks like a pan.
she looks like she would be pansexual. if you were like, draw me someone that looks pansexual, they would draw her. I understand. Okay, continue.
Okay, Mrs. Potts, come
You know
over
what?
here.
Years ago,
This is
George.
Potts, like from the Beauty and the Beast.
Years ago, George Carlin or one of them comedians said, "You ever notice that the women that are against their abortion are the women you wouldn't want to fuck anyways?"
Well, I mean,
It reminded me of that.
I had a good friend of the podcaster that said that same thing about the Rovers, right? It's like, no, you ladies have always had the right of who you had sex raw dog with.
All right, easy now. Is this Grandma's Boy?
Hey, no, I toned that down to a significant
We are-
level.
You saw how he paused before he spoke. He was
Yeah, I had to think
it was
about it.
going. He was like, "Wait, we're on YouTube. We're on YouTube."
No, it wasn't even like YouTube. YouTube, well, never mind.
I wasn't even worried about YouTube. I was worried about our audience. But anyways, this pansexual sheriff in the article never talked about one thing about fighting crime.
No.
It was industrial waste, environmental. She's going to fight environmental crime. Now,
All right, Captain Planet, settle down.
I thought there was
Right.
an organization that already fought that.
Yeah, I think it's called the EPA.
She's probably going to electric cars, and she wants to reduce, although I'm forever for this, she wants 2 deputies in each car, which is cool, but to reduce the number of cars on the road.
Uh-huh.
Well, you got to answer the calls. The reason why there's X amount of units on the road is to answer the complaints.
Right.
You reduce it in half.
So, so what I'm hearing is, if you're in Washtenaw County, stay away from Ann Arbor,
Ipsy,
parts of Ypsi.
the university.
Do whatever you want in the rural areas
But,
because there's not going to be cops around.
Generally, I try to stay away from Ipsy and Ann Arbor anyway.
I'm
Go-
just saying that's where the majority of the police are going to be. She's cutting back on numbers.
She didn't say she wants to cut back on deputies. She just wants to cut back on patrols.
But
by
if I'm
half as
cutting
many
back on cars, I'm not putting deputies on the street.
Yeah, right. Now, here's where I feel sorry.
You're going to drop them off and like,
Right.
here, you deal with this. I got to go deal with this other call.
Walk this next 6 blocks. I'll pick you up at
Hold
the
on, I got to
corner.
plug in the car.
Yeah.
So here's my concern. I realize Washington County is a liberal county.
Yeah.
The university, city in Ann Arbor, in Ypsilanti. But, rural Washington County, Manchester,
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot my Manchester.
our family members that live in Dexter,
Yep.
my
Yeah.
brother-in-law who's been born and raised up there,
Chelsea.
he's just a good old boy, right? Yeah. Now they do look at things differently because they've been indoctrinated by the infiltration of libs. They flee the big cities.
And they go to Grass Lake and ice skate.
They flee the big cities to get away from the tyranny and the bullshit, and then bring it with them.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's just the nature of the beast. People don't understand. When you move somewhere, assimilate to that location. Become a part of that
That's why you
location.
moved there, right?
No. What you're saying is bigoted.
It's not bigoted.
EU all the time, regardless of where you live,
If you're running
because
from
that's not how the world works
if
at
you're
all.
running from Guatemala, Mexico, Ann Arbor, I don't care. You're running from there because you don't like what's happening.
But you bring your shit.
Then leave your stuff there.
Isn't that why you moved to Grass Lake, Michigan?
if my house is full of bed bugs and I have to move, I'm not bringing the damn bed.
Yeah, but they come with you whether you like it or not. That's my point. Is that
Well, you gotta
I
do
know
your
what you're
laundry.
saying, and I agree with you, but that's not what people do. Unfortunately, yes, they flee the big city to flee the big city, but they don't want to change. It's everyone else's. That's the problem, and the problem is so you flee to Grass Lake from Detroit. And you don't change, but then so do all your neighbors. Now it's still your neighbor's fault. Oh, crap. Now Grass Lake's going to shit because my neighbors are garbage. No, you didn't change. You're the same people.
Right.
So the sheriff is in cahoots with a previously elected prosecutor who is self-proclaimed leftist prosecutor.
Right.
Oh, self-proclaimed.
So my point here is you could probably get away with crime and get a slap
Yeah.
on the hand.
Just don't.
Oh, another thing
Don't do hate
wants,
crimes.
she wants to chase is tip fraud and
Tip fraud.
Yep. So
Like server tips?
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. All this
How is it?
insignificant
Tip
shit that
fraud.
somebody else has already taken care of.
Sounds like something.
Okay, just explain tip fraud to me.
So if you're an employer and you take a percentage of the tips, that could be a no-no.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I think of.
I just
Plus, you've got the whole pay the servers $12.50 an hour now problem. I think it ties into that.
By the way,
Okay.
real quick, I hate to interrupt, but the pansexual flag I just put up on the screen looks delicious.
It does.
Hey.
Tell me that doesn't look delicious.
I like the blue one, the blue flavor. Like when I'm eating.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, the
Jelly
cotton candy, maybe a
It's
cotton
like-
candy.
It's
a jelly
like
candy, I would take the blue.
it's like a
and then the pink.
dysfunctional
Yeah, blue's my
Neapolitan,
favorite flavor.
right? It's like dysfunctional Neapolitan ice cream.
No, it's like super awesome Neapolitan
Oh,
ice
wait,
cream.
no,
It'd
you
be
said
like
You've
Superman.
got strawberry,
It's
banana,
Superman.
and
It'd be Superman.
Yeah, you mix them all. Oh my gosh.
That's the sandwich.
Superman
you
is a pansexual.
Yep.
We got it right here on the Stick to the Plan podcast. We took the long
He
way, but
loves
we got
hanging
there.
out in the phone booths and all that.
Anyways,
That's why they're hot.
freaky,
Public
weird
figures.
Yeah.
political shit going on as the sheriff in Washington County. I don't feel safe.
Right.
I wouldn't. No.
I didn't feel
No,
safe.
no.
Anyway.
If I had, I'm just thinking to myself, if I was standing in a room and they're like, "All right, you get one sheriff as your personal security," and they have
Pass.
they have Jackson County's sheriff, Sheriff Shooty,
Right,
and
right.
they have Washington sheriff. I'm taking Shooty with me every time.
Shooty's going everywhere.
His name is Shooty.
He's gonna be like he'll be my best friend, road dog, ride or die.
Cool anyway. I think I'd hang out with him anyway.
Another concern here, in my opinion, is, of course, the DEI and the things that she talks about.
I thought they ended that.
Here's
Didn't
what
they? No.
concerns me, guys. Corporation after corporation is getting rid of DEI
Yes, they
policies. But you still have governments doubling down on it.
Yeah.
Right.
And it hasn't worked. And just like the LA fires, the DEI, was that the issue why this fire, listen, 100-mile-an-hour winds is hard to put out a fire. But were they not prepared because they were too focused on hiring DEI instead of people who are qualified for the job?
They also weren't prepared because they had an entire reservoir shut down.
But
And hydrants didn't work.
there's no reason why. Like literally, climate scientists have been talking about, hey guys, there's going to be a huge fire in LA. It's gonna happen. We don't know when. The wind, the this and that, everything can be perfect in the next whenever time. And they went, meh, we'll be alright.
So I don't know.
That's true, but I don't think you can necessarily blame DEI for that.
No,
I
I don't-
am against DEI. Don't get me wrong.
That-
But
that-
everything that goes wrong can't
It
be
contributes.
DEI.
It contributes.
Listen, here's where the claim is. You got an administration, one of the largest fire departments in the nation, and if they're taking 10% of their time or 5% of their time to focus on DEI issues, you're taking your eye off the ball of preparing for a catastrophic event.
absolutely.
I think there's some truth to that.
Sure.
You're taking your eye off the ball. Something I want to say, though, I kept seeing a Facebook meme with LA, water, Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, they're worried about putting salt in the
So
land.
you know how we fought fires in Napoleon with our 4 hydrants? We drafted it. We sucked it out of the creek or the lake,
Right.
even in the
Yeah.
winter. We cut a hole in the ice
But
and sucked
the-
it out.
the
But
issue-
that's fresh water.
I don't know if they do that.
Yeah, the issue is LA. They're afraid of salting the land so nothing will grow. Well, it's
Put
LA.
the fire out.
Nothing grows in LA anyway. It's a
But
city.
Here's the thing.
They grow weed in LA.
The salt water puts the fire out, right?
Right.
But the damage from the fire causes regrowth of the forest.
Well,
I'd
that's
say deal with it later.
yeah.
It's a win-win.
This is God. Well, it's just like up north. We were talking about it last week. Oh, don't worry about that forest that we want to put all these solar panels on because there was a tornado that went through there, and it's not like it's nice forest anyway.
Well, that's different now too.
And
That's
you guys
what
know,
I'm-
like especially Russ, I'm not a super religious person, but this is just God pissed off at LA. LA is a armpit of a town anyway,
Right.
Yeah.
and for many reasons.
Hey, a lot of good rockers and rappers have come out of LA.
Hey,
No,
Hey,
no.
if
They
you
didn't
do
come
live in
out of
LA,
LA. They moved to
They
LA.
started
If
there.
you do live in LA, though, you should be very excited about what
But
Biden
now-
just said, because the fire has reached the neighborhood of Kamala Harris.
Yeah, but Kamala don't live there no more.
But
She got
But-
she got a property
They don't
there.
even go there.
it's still her property. The U.S. government's paying 100% of the damage. Not worrying about the people in the mountains in
Yeah,
Appalachia.
and screw her the people from the Hurricane Helena
No,
or whatever.
Appalachia.
You have $500. Piss off.
The Amish people went down there, built little tiny homes to get them through the winter, and the government said, can't use those.
yeah.
They're not up to
Well,
code.
I've seen Amish people build. It's
So,
probably
by the
worse.
way,
I'd-
speaking
I'd-
of all
I'd-
the code,
if it was good enough for me to build a little fire and stay out of the cold,
By
I'd
the-
be cool with it.
back to Jackson,
Sorry.
why the pallet homes aren't out there is
Yeah.
it's against code.
That's
They had
crazy.
They had a temporary usage for them, but the ordinance for the city of Jackson doesn't really allow them.
Ah.
So they're moving them inside.
That doesn't make any
Wait.
sense.
You're moving pallet homes inside.
Uh, They paid 30 grand or something a piece for them.
Inside where?
Right.
The school that they pay
The
$1.
school.
Oh.
Ah,
I
yeah.
don't know. See, we went from the wackadoo sheriff in Washtenaw to L.A. back to the pallet homes.
I feel like
Because you know why? It's bad policy.
I feel like it's like the
It
Hunger
wraps
Games.
into bad policy.
It's like Hunger Games.
It's over.
Survive.
It's government overreach mixed with
lack of common sense.
poor government.
Absolutely.
California is the greatest example of poor government I've
And the
ever seen in
city
my
of
life.
Jackson is a small fraction of the example of what can happen.
That's because
happening.
our leaders in Lansing currently are a
Yeah.
small example of, or a larger example, but a small example.
Well,
Quick
luckily
remember.
that's changed a bit.
Right.
I'm speaking specifically of
So,
Gretchen.
You said the
Calling
next
her out
on
on
the
YouTube.
agenda is what, the solar panel situation?
All right, DNR, Gaylord, Michigan. We talked about it last week.
Yes.
All right, at first, for 2 days, we thought, hey, the solar energy panel company says, we don't want this heat, we don't want that, 420 acres. By the way, they're putting that same company's putting 1,000 acres of them into the adjacent property that's privately owned.
Yeah, that's why they wanted that property.
That's right. But the energy company said, you know what? We're out. So everybody like, all right, yay. Now, 2 days later, the governor says, I want to put it out for bid. I bet there's another company that might
Right.
do
Yeah,
it.
I've been in that.
So
same
the
company
battle
comes in.
isn't over.
But it's doubled. It was 400 in Gaylord. It's now 1,000 acres in Roscommon, right by Grayling, and another 500 acres more towards the
Grayling isn't solar.
west.
Grayling,
No, that's what they've said. That's
the
what I
Grayling
just.
issue is Fiat locating there with their weapon. They make a lot of weapons.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's the concern with
But
the, with the Grayling.
Roscommon is
What?
where they were
Yeah.
doing that 1,000
Well,
acres.
They're
Whatever,
destroying our beautiful land.
whatever happened to that Chinese battery factory?
Well,
That way.
you want to talk? That's kiboshed.
Okay, that did
I
kibosh.
think that's
Yeah.
kiboshed. But
I was just curious because
the Blue Oval battery plant in Marshall, that's being built slow roll. But we
Yep.
found out that the company that Ford Motor Company
Yeah.
partnered with
yes,
for that plant is directly tied to
China.
the Chinese Communist
well they
Party.
all are.
No,
Yeah.
we were accusing it is a direct link. So there's a lot of pushback going on the Blue Oval.
We'll see how that goes in a
Yeah.
It's
couple
only a matter of
of
time
weeks.
before we're all Chinese anyway.
So Gaylord's
Speak
not
for
off the
yourself.
hook. I keep ours
I've
peeled
seen Red Dog. That's not going to happen.
of a protest. And they're really screaming for a protest in Roscommon and
Right.
Grayling.
I mean,
whether it's
1,000
solar or
acres.
not, you're ruining state land.
It's 1,000 acres. That's double what they wanted to do in Gaylord.
By the way, Kevin, you know what 1,000 acres looks like?
I
Center Lake is 962
was gonna say I was thinking like the property I grew up on is just over an acre, 1,000 of those.
Yeah.
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 That's a lot of trees.
I
It's a lot, but it's not as. I mean,
It's
I'm
not
not,
as
down,
mu-
I'm not downplaying it, but
No.
it's a lot, but it's not as much as you think. 1,000 sounds crazy.
So Sarah and I were
What's it,
trying
6 miles?
Sarah and I put it in perspective of what 1,000 acres looks like in Center Lake that we know well.
Pretty
It's
close.
962 acres, and it's a rather large lake. But I went, I don't want to downplay it either,
Yes,
but it's not 1,000 isn't as large as I thought it was.
I think you have
It's
to.
still
I think
large.
what we're hearing is 1,000 because that's how we measure land.
1,000 sounds
But 1,000 acres sounds a lot more of a problem than I don't know 4-6 miles. You're like, oh
I got
well,
a good question
Yeah,
for you.
but that's still a lot. But my question is this: who's going to bid that?
oh
no, there's
there's going to be.
they're
I
not
bet you it's the same company.
No,
I bet you the same company.
No,
comes
that
in.
company backed out. They don't
no,
have nothing to do with it.
no.
Power
There's
play.
1,000 energy companies out there putting
Oh,
up
yeah.
solar panels.
I
and-
understand.
And that company
but
might
the
come
largest,
back under a different
one of the
name.
largest companies in the Jackson area is Harvest, right? They
There's
don't have
another
the
one.
manpower to do that because to put up 1,000
But
acres.
there are companies out
Ed,
there.
you're wrong. Harvest is residential solar.
Yeah.
So the guy that wants to put solar on his garage.
No, they do fields. My son used to work for them.
But I don't think
and they have people all over. They
Harvest
have to bring them in.
ain't shit compared to these national
Yeah, we're-
companies
That's what I
taking
said.
the
National.
money
They
grab.
wouldn't be from Michigan. They will be outside of the
They
state.
No.
might be from Michigan. Well, the thing is that you said it. They might come back as a different company or something. I bet you that they pulled this because they went. I bet you they'll put it up for auction. We'll get it for 50,000 less, 100,000 less.
Something
And
shitty.
There's
It doesn't matter. If they pulled out, somebody else is coming in.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I got a funny question for you. The acreage in Gaylord is 420 acres.
Okay.
Why don't they consider weed then? 420.
Right.
420.
Because
420.
I think that still is just as controversial.
I was just.
I know. I thought the same thing when I first read the article.
420.
Yeah, 420 Farms. That actually would be really good.
Yeah.
The marketing's there. Do we know anybody?
And the DNR goes in the weed business.
Do we know anybody?
You know what? The DNR should consider the weed business. It probably people would be more accepting of it than ugly ass solar
Well, I mean,
panels.
technically they are.
How about hemp?
Well, you got to grow weed to have
You gotta
hemp.
have weed
I
to get
know,
help.
but instead of we're doing it to get people high, we're going to make clothes.
But
All
you
right,
can
moving
do
on.
both.
I'm more okay with the just
You
get
can do
high. Let's
both.
just get high. Anyways, we're moving on.
So if the state of Michigan allows 420 acres of weed to be planted on the 420 acres, and then the citizens of the state can go harvest what they want. It's like picking blueberries when
Right,
you run across
right.
a blueberry
You can't
bush.
regulate it as much.
They don't get that kind of money.
But if you run across a blueberry patch on state land, you can pick those blueberries,
Sure.
right?
Sure, but you ain't making as much off a bushel of
I'm not
blueberries.
saying to make no money.
No, but that's what the state's all about. The state's not going to do it if they
The
don't make money.
state doesn't charge you for the blueberries you picked on state land.
No, but they charge you for the pass to get onto the
Okay,
state
you
land.
buy a pass and go pick some weed. All right,
Anyways, doesn't matter.
Anyways,
That's
be prepared.
see, I can see you now. You buy a pass, you go out, you search, you pick the weed,
and then they charge you by
and then you get so high, you end up picking the blueberries.
maybe.
Eating the
Oh wow!
blueberries.
And then you charge for both on the way out. Like at
Exactly.
blueberry farms where they weigh up.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you walk in, you step on a scale, you walk out, you step on a scale, and they charge you.
I overlooked huge Jackson news. That's going to be a pain in the ass for us, and from today until October 25th.
Oh, okay.
And that is Cooper
Oh yeah, the bridge.
between
Oh.
East Washington and Michigan Ave. That area will be closed. I don't know if it's closed right now. It's supposed to be today till October, right? What I
Yeah,
say?
that's good news for my business.
because they're replacing the bridge. I guess there's a bridge under there.
Till October.
Yeah. Well, have you ever noticed when they do highway construction, what takes the longest is the goddamn bridges?
yeah, it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Either bridges are hard to do, or those guys just ain't in a hurry.
So
Or both.
you said Cooper to Michigan Ave.
So Cooper from East Washington
Yeah.
out here to Michigan Ave, which is the most
So
major.
the only bridge that's there goes over the Grand River, right?
Right.
And it's not that big.
Yeah, I know. Have you seen highway construction? How long?
But a highway bridge is much bigger
Are
than
any
this.
of us bridge engineers?
No.
No, but I can tell you
So
the
how
difference.
dare
in
you
the-
question a bridge
Yeah.
engineer?
God damn it!
Because-
a bridge engineer.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, that bridge over
Yep.
Grand River is not as long
It doesn't
or as
matter.
complicated as the bridge
Well,
over
because
94.
the highway bridges take 2 years. This one's taking 6 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the thing is they decide.
Right.
They
right.
go, hey, let's have it done by October, and they say, okay. And then guess what? We have to wait till October.
Right.
Prior to this being announced, I don't know, Thursday or Friday, I noticed the big equipment sitting over there behind the train station and
Yeah.
stuff. I knew something was coming, then they announced that. Here's my concern, guys. If you're going north on Cooper,
Yes.
all right,
Yeah.
and you approach that, so they're going to either shoot you down East Washington to the west, around downtown, or Washington to the east, down that bumpy, shitty
Yeah,
road.
they gotta fix
Yes.
that. God damn it.
That's the worst city street there is. It's a great cut through for me. I live in Michigan Center.
And I know a guy that blew a tire one time.
Uh,
that was
Yes,
you.
it was. But here's my point. Really? You're going to take Cooper Street. I don't know if this is the detour or not,
I have no idea.
but are they going to take Cooper Street traffic that needs to go eastbound down East Washington through there? That's going to make that road even worse.
What I wonder, I mean,
Hard to say.
the positive for me is my place of employment. That's going to direct a lot of people down that way.
Now, they could take it
That's
down
true.
Morale and then to Elm.
I would.
Oh, it's a nicer road.
That's what
Yeah.
I would take.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, they might do that because that's long before.
Or do you think they'll take them south to, or no, high to south and around?
High ends at Cooper? It doesn't run east off Cooper.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. So you're either taking south or you're taking. Oh no, High does.
High
go.
goes
I
all the
know
way
the
across.
Yeah.
But you could take High to Elm and come back up towards
But
Michigan
High Street's
Ave.
not very nice either.
No. If you need to get to the east side of downtown Jackson,
Yes.
or,
You're going to
the
Washington.
Coney Islands east, either the best way would be Morel to Elm
Franklin.
or East Washington.
Right.
Yeah.
It's whatever, guys. It's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
That's a major artery in this town, and it is shut down. It's supposed to be shut down right now. I don't know if
That's
it is.
crazy.
Yeah.
I don't really go down through there, but you know what? You find yourself all of a sudden you're there.
Right.
Yeah. And you're like, how do I get over there? And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's going to take 9 months?
Well, the article I'm live from
Well,
today until October.
When a mommy
25th.
bridge and a
Wow.
daddy bridge really love each other, and then they get
That's what I'm
together,
saying.
and take
It's
9
like a
months to make a
full-
baby bridge.
Full gestational cycle for a bridge.
Oh my God! I always thought the highway bridges it would take 2 years. I'm like, why does it take so long? I'm not a bridge guy. Okay.
Right.
I never really see those guys working too hard.
No,
anymore.
they don't.
Actually, now that I think about it, I've never really seen them working. They just one day there's a bridge.
You know what they
Yeah,
do?
right.
They put those tarps up,
Yeah.
and one guy is making a lot of dust.
And they bring in the modular bridge like they bring in a modular
You can
home.
drive through
Just
there.
Lego them together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's crazy? Down in Florida, this was a couple years ago, a hurricane wiped out a bridge in some town, right? They had a bridge built and sturdy and ready to go in 2 days.
Right. When you need to,
You're
you can.
lying, Kevin.
No, ask Ronnie DeSantis.
When you need to get
No,
it
Ron,
done,
we need Ron bad.
when you
Well-
need to get it done, you can get it done.
So you know what always concerns me about detours and stuff is that sign company that the construction guys don't put them out. They hire a
Yeah.
contract. They always fuck them up.
Oh yeah, they're not local.
And then they don't never coordinate with, oh my God, there's a sewer main break on East Washington. We can't go that way.
Yeah,
today.
then they detour the detour, and they just pile them on top
And
of
then
each
to
other.
add to that, you know,
Right.
there's a state law. I think it passed. That brings up a whole new subject. You know, a lot of legislation that did barely get passed in lame duck never made it to the governor's desk.
Right.
That's the whole. Well,
I just thought of something. High to Elm, if you're going to the east side.
Yeah, high to
okay.
Elm.
If you're heading
Oh,
north,
high to Elm. I think
Elm
just
sucks,
it's
by the
gonna
way.
Be Morel to Elm
Morel to Elm or High to Elm.
because if it's going to be blocked at East Washington,
Yeah,
so they're going to want to detour you before you get there. I hope to take you Morel.
yeah. That's what I'm
Elm.
saying. If you're coming off of down Cooper off 127 or something, through that
And to
little
go
corridor,
west.
then you're probably. I was thinking High to Elm, but
To go west, they're just going to shoot you, I hope, down East Washington here in front of the Commonwealth. But then that's right where the construction can begin.
yeah, but you can go the other way on High too. I think High
Yeah.
might be the road.
I don't know.
It
It's
might
gonna
be.
be
Morel goes west though,
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Yes, it does.
Across.
Yeah, it
Yes, it does. Yes,
but
it
you
does.
gotta go through the
Morel.
hood.
But they put that roundabout in, so you don't
Yeah.
have to stop in the hood.
Right.
Ugh.
Right. You know what? That's the
I'd
spot.
rather stop in the hood.
The roundabout's going to be the spot.
I'd rather stop in the hood.
No, I like roundabouts. I'm used to them
I
now.
hate them.
I don't. I wish they didn't put them everywhere. I'm used to them now. The one at Francis or MLK
Huh.
and Morel is the
Weird.
best thing ever did.
Actually, yeah,
I never had it.
It makes sense.
Kevin, 20 years ago, before that, you've had it happen too. I've stopped there 2 o'clock in the morning.
Hookers tried to jump in your car.
Hooker tried to jump in my car.
Yep.
You ain't got to stop now. You just
Right.
round and round.
That happened there and at First and Franklin, right in front of the interface.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
I'm not ready for
So-
a hooker
so-
right
Yeah,
now.
I wasn't prepared.
Yeah, okay,
I-
wait.
I'm like reaching in my
spent
pocket.
my
I'm like,
last 10
I don't
I'm-
have any money.
I'm
You need credit.
I'm 52 years old. I grew up in Jackson. I grew up right down by Tate's Takeout.
Good
I've
times.
never had a hooker jump into my car.
I have.
What's that say about the two of you?
Well,
Just
you got to
saying.
remember, I work nights in bars, so it's 3 a.m. I'm rolling
Yeah.
I've
through
been
the
driving
hood.
out that time, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
And,
Never once.
Never once.
Never once.
I've had the experience.
oh, okay, I might have had money hanging out my hand.
There you
but
go.
That doesn't matter. That's
You went through the intersection
With the dollar bill in your mouth.
Hey, I'm just waving money. That's the same place the first time when you remember when the JPD came out and they were using the Segways. They had Segways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I pulled up to First and Morel right there at the interface shelter, and I stopped at the stop sign. I looked left, I looked right, I looked left again, and I saw something move. I'm like, look, and there was a JPD officer on a goddamn Segway, and my window was down. It was summertime. I was like, is that a fucking cop on a Segway? No one's with me, by the way.
Right.
Is that a fucking cop on a Segway? And then he just stopped, and like I caught him, like a little kid. And then I was like, yeah, that's the only time I ever saw those Segways anywhere.
They only did that for like a season or two, but those were good sneak up deals.
That's
Yeah.
all because of that movie.
Yeah.
Dang, Paul Blart.
That was before the
Mall
movie. It was before the movie.
Cop.
Mall
It was,
Cop with
it
Kevin
was before the movie.
Yeah.
It was before the movie, but you're right.
That
Anyway.
only lasted a minute.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Bottom line is, nightmare for travel in downtown Jackson.
Yeah.
Right.
Nothing we can do about it. We can talk about it all day long. It is what it is.
At least it'll be done before 94 was.
I do want
in
to
a
bring
quicker
up
time frame.
94 will never be done.
Leone Township, Michigan Center news.
Dun, dun, dun.
By the way, the whole stream might just be news.
Yeah, that's the way it works.
So this has been in the works for a while. Kevin,
Yeah.
in Kicks, are you familiar with the old Valero gas station right across
Yes.
the street from Menards?
Menards.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
empty. That will be a Dunkin' Donuts.
Really?
Yep. And then the same company is building a Dunkin' somewhere out on Ann Arbor Road, and I'm not quite sure of the location.
Huh.
As a loyal Rumble streamer, screw Dunkin' Donuts and their liberal ways.
Okay, I agree.
I'm just throwing that out there. Continue.
As a Leone Township trustee, I am
It's
excited.
actually a great idea.
I'm excited
Consider.
that something is going into a blighted empty
Yes.
area.
Yes.
And then
a Krispy
We
Kreme would
need
have been
something
better.
like that in center.
I
A Krispy Kreme would have been better. But, you know.
yeah.
They don't, but Krispy Kremes don't have, like, we don't have Krispy Kreme shops really around here.
You
Like,
would if they built the
but
Krispy
the
Kreme
like,
in
Dunkin'
Michigan
Donuts has,
Center.
like,
I didn't
delicious
know there was
coffees and
enough room,
sandwiches.
but there's a drive-through going in there and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I can see
Bigger
that.
news.
I
They'll
can see
figure it
that.
out.
Cooler news.
Cooler
Cooler
news.
news.
Cooler news. The Rite Aid, Michigan and Detman,
Yeah.
Yes.
has been bought.
Okay.
Finally. Liquor store? I
No.
heard. Okay.
It's not a Buc-ee's, but like a Buc-ee's.
God, I've been wanting a Buc-ee's
It
so
might
bad.
be a Buc-ee's.
Have you ever been to a Buc-ee's?
No.
Oh, it will change your
It's
life.
too small to be a Buc-ee's.
I thought so too, but it's something
Oh,
similar
no,
to
no,
that.
no, it's not.
I apologize.
It's just a giant convenience store. It's bigger than any
No, I
other
know,
convenience store.
but I'm saying currently that location is would probably be the smallest
Aren't
Buc-ee's in the
Buc-ee's
United
usually
States.
truck stops?
Yes.
Yes.
The
Basically,
malls of truck stops.
Yes.
the best way to look at it is a grocery store that sells gas.
Can I put the
Yes.
disclaimer out there? I apologize that I don't know exactly what's going in there. They told me, and I forgot. This was a couple months ago.
I'm gonna look it up.
But something, I don't think it's there yet.
Yeah.
It's similar to Buc-ee's.
Something is going into the Rite Aid, and it's going to be better than Rite Aid. Yeah.
Good.
The liquor
Well-
license to that was sold to the guys up the hill.
Oh, at the jewelry store.
At the new liquor store.
That looks
Okay.
nice. I haven't been in there yet.
Yeah, it does. I don't see me ever stopping in there. You never know.
Right.
I mean,
right.
it's on the way. It's I prefer Powers, but
I live 8 houses down from a liquor store.
yeah, I live really close to
Yeah.
a liquor store too. But they have weird hours over by me. They like open at like 11 and close at like 7.
Oh,
That's weird.
Shit. Yeah, they don't. They're not worried about it
But-
apparently.
growth in Leone Township,
That's a good thing.
I think, is positive growth.
That's a good thing.
I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about this or not
Do it.
because it's nowhere near
Don't be
approved
scared.
or even coming. Massive industrial type facility might be built 800,000 square feet
Nice.
in the old golf course at the end of Trailer Park Drive.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
over off Sergeant Road. Yeah, over by me.
They're looking at it. Of course, they want tax abatements more than likely, and I will be very careful with that.
Yep.
That's breaking news, and I don't even have many details. And then somebody's looking at property way down Napoleon Road between Price Lake and Dollar Lake. When you get out,
Oh,
of the
yeah.
country,
Okay.
for like a cabin, campground, kayak, dealy wheelie that you would utilize the channel and access the lakes.
Okay.
Those are just in the initial talks, guys.
Right.
Things are coming that's not marijuana related.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. So that's Leone. You can get fresh Leone news from me right here on Stick
Right,
With What
that's
Podcast.
right.
This is the only place you can get fresh Leone news. Trust me, I've looked.
And
The
that's-
only Michigan Center News Broadcasting Network.
Michigan Center, Grass Lake, parts of Jackson. Leone's a big
Right.
township.
Oh, I know.
it is. It's massive.
Right along with Summit.
But so what else there talk about? Kicks?
Um.
What do you what
Oh,
shit you want to create today?
Here we go. Something to talk about. The Jackson Republican Party has a new face, a new look.
Yes, it does.
We are now JXN GOP.
Yep.
You need to go check out the website because, well, we got a store. We've got all kinds of things. We have T-shirts, cups, phones, hats. I have a shirt on there you can get that says, you can give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. If you deport that man, you never have to feed him again. Trump 2024.
Yeah, but who's going to pick my strawberries? I'm not doing it myself.
So, Kix, how many items are on the
On the
online
website,
store?
on the web store, between hats, sweatshirts, jackets, everything, about 38 items. But what's going to happen is every couple of months, we'll do an inventory. What didn't get purchased at all, it's going to go, and we'll add something new.
So these are usually items that we talk about towards the end of the stream. We could be towards the end. I have them written down. I'm very glad you brought them up. Please go to jacksongop.org.
Yes.
It's actually, I've never been on any website that's too fun, but it's kind of a fun website.
It's got a lot. It's got a lot
I've never
going on.
been on any non-adult oriented website that wasn't too fun.
I agree.
I mean, I wouldn't say that it's fun, but it's got a lot. It's got a lot
Cool.
of information, a lot of things.
Easy to navigate.
Yes.
And there's a place where you can donate.
Yes, there is. Actually, there's several ways to donate. If you want to just make a one-time donation, you have something, it's got you emotional, and you're like, I got to just put some money in because I don't want homeless people living in pallet houses in the middle of a school gymnasium. You can donate.
So,
And then we've got tiers
why do we donate?
because your donations help us get the word out on better candidates.
To elect Republicans.
It helps us to put events together and do training.
Why do we do events and training?
To elect,
elect
better
Republicans.
Republicans.
Elect Republicans.
And by helping us, you then become a part of the voice.
What happens when we elect Republicans? They don't make stupid decisions
Right.
like the pallet houses inside
Inside a
and dollar
gymnasium.
leases when
Right.
they have $500,000.
But what happens then, too, is you become like, you associate with us to
'Cause
help
we're cool
us
guys.
move forward. Help us make the change in Jackson County.
So I'll bring up the change in the Jackson GOP, and this has happened, I hope, at a state level. That reminds me of something to talk about.
Hey,
But hopefully, after all these Republican wins, starting with Trump, and then Michigan being the only state in the country that flipped their state house to Republican by quite a good margin, that people are energized and on a sugar buzz, and it looks like people are coming back to the GOPs. There's always the discussion of if you're getting along. Well, let me tell you, compared to 2 years ago, we're getting along a
Right.
whole lot better.
Right.
And I know Jackson GOP, we're trying to do funner stuff.
Right.
Instead of the old boring old people stuff, we have the gala coming up this Saturday. Tickets are still available.
Yeah, but tickets are going fast.
They are.
We are down to under 100 tickets available before it's sold out. So if you're gonna do it, do it.
Here, if you're holding back from buying tickets because the Lions play that night,
Right.
we've fielded some phone calls from it. We will make sure that the game is
Streaming. We will be streaming the game.
There was dispute whether we should do that or not. I am going to make the
Well-
executive decision that the game will be on.
Exactly.
Yeah, it has to
And
be.
as the vice chair of communications,
The game will be on.
we're streaming.
So, there's an open bar. You can get
Yep.
beer. You can get
Cash bar.
Huh?
Cash bar. Not
Cash
an
bar.
open
I'm sorry. Open
Trying
bar.
to
We'd
get
sell a
us
lot of tickets,
killed.
wouldn't we?
I'd be there.
Right? Cash bar, big meal,
Till midnight.
DJ dancing,
Dancing.
7 to midnight.
You might not be able to hear the
And-
game, but you can
And,
watch it.
and fellas, if your girl or your wife is complaining because you haven't really gone out,
This is a good one.
it's $80 for the couple. Think
That's-
about that.
That's a meal.
That's a meal. That's dancing, DJ, drinks,
You get to
hors
hang out with
d'oeuvres,
Russ and Kicks
politicians, and whoever. Just hang out.
or Olivia.
Yeah.
You know, don't
For
tell you why,
$80?
But
You can't even go get a meal for $80.
no, you know it's a sad deal though. It's sad that going out costs so much.
Exactly.
But we got it for 80, and it offers a whole lot. It starts at 6:30. Doors
open at 6:30.
And the Lions game will be on, so do not
Lions
hesitate.
game is at 8. So the way everything is worked, generally the Lions kickoff will be just about the time we're eating. So everyone's going to be sitting around the table. If you're with a group of people you don't know, you'll have the game.
Game will be on. I don't want people not to get tickets. The reason why we're doing this, one, to have fun.
Right.
And to thank all the hard work that a lot of people put into getting Trump elected and other positions filled. with Republicans.
And that includes putting yard signs out because a lot of people were afraid to do that.
Yeah.
They were afraid that the neighbors are going to freak out because the neighbors are liberals or whatever. Right. But so we want to say thank you because even the littlest of things helped put us over the top.
It did. Even when you were talking about it and this and that and your support for Trump and Republicans. And we're also fundraising off it, although the fundraising end is minimal.
Yeah.
But we're not going to do anything that doesn't make a buck. We're not going to lose. And fundraising is important. So that's Saturday.
There's other things coming down the pipe from what I hear. Talking with the events people, they've got a lot of ideas.
That was on my list. The gala, of course. Now, I do want to speak to precinct delegates throughout the state. Upcoming county convention in every county in the state is January 30th. That's where the precinct delegates of that county choose who goes to the state convention, which is February 21st and 22nd at Huntington Place, which is the Cobo Hall in downtown Detroit. And then once you got chosen from your county, you go there to elect our new district committee and chair. And then Saturday, we elect the new chair and vice chairs, co-chair of the Michigan GOP. And by the way, if you're not a precinct delegate, I'm going to tell you why this is important, that people pay attention to this and call your precinct delegate. Call the people involved.
Right.
Because the chair of the state GOP is really instrumental at getting Republicans elected.
Absolutely.
It's very, very important. In 2 years from now, we flip the governor's house, the attorney general, the secretary of state. We have state senate seats open, state house comes up. And if you got a shitty state chair, the money won't flow. You got to have money flowing. You got to have an infrastructure in place to deal with a massive campaign. It's going to be as large as the Trump campaign. It's that important.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're just Joe Schmo sitting at home, what do I care with state chairs? You should care.
You should care because it's everything.
It is.
It decides at the end of the day, if we're putting in a big picture, who you're going to vote for because who's on the ballot. It's a decision that gets made.
Yeah, it's huge for campaign purposes and fundraising in order to elect Republicans. So, anyways, the Grand New Party. My buddies at the Grand New Party are hosting a delegate training in Michigan Republican Chair Forum on Wednesday, January 22nd at 7 o'clock. Okay?
Okay.
This is online through gnppac.com, right, Kevin?
Yep, down in the description. Absolutely.
Down in the description. That is online, so it's virtual. There's another one put on by the District 5 that is online too. I'm going to suggest going to the Grand New Party one because they've added the candidate forum where the District 5 one is just training. So you can access the candidates through there. Now, there are...
now, isn't District 5 having one in...
Not in person. Berrien County
right.
is having one, which is in
District 5
on the 25th.
And then all the candidates
are
there.
Are those the flyers you sent me?
Yes.
Okay, which flyer? This one, maybe?
It should have like 4
Bring
candidates
up the Grand
on
New
it.
Party one first, I think.
Is it this one? Hold on. Oh, I gotta resize it. Give me a second. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, this is it. I bet you.
That's the Grand New Party.
It. Grand New Party delegate training.
Shrink it down a bit, Kevin.
Shrink it down.
Fit to screen.
If you guys are familiar with the Grand New Party,
nope.
There it is.
There it is.
So those are the hosts on the top.
Right.
My brother Shane Trejo. That's Marion Sheridan. She is a current grassroots vice chair. And then, by the way, this Susan Kokinda, I think she's a candidate for one of the vice chair. She's like been a superstar. I do not know her, and I don't know who Christy Lee is, but they're the hosts. And then down there in the left-hand column, you've got our boy Senator Rumstead, who was just in Jackson the other day. Great presentation. Our friend Mashawn Maddock, Joe Sella, who I've not met. I do not know him. I've been watching some videos. He seems like an all right candidate. And then, why am I forgetting his name?
Scott Greenlee.
Greenlee has been around a long time. He's a very viable candidate. He works as a political consultant for a living and has won 30 years of campaigns. So those are our candidates, and all three of them will be available. Now, if you go to the next flyer, Kevin,
right.
Is that the Berrien County one? Did I send that to you?
I'm not sure. You sent me 2. The
I
other
sent
one...
3. One's the Washington Day party.
I thought you said one wasn't right.
Okay.
That's the inauguration.
That's our gal. I accidentally sent you that.
Okay, you accidentally sent me this. All right, then I got to pull the other one up. So just give me a
See
second.
what the other one is. We can talk about it.
Yeah, give me a second.
I don't know if I might not send to Berrien County.
I don't think I didn't.
Listen,
You sent me the inauguration one twice.
And I should have sent you because I figured that out. Is there a
I'm
Washington Day through the Grand New Party flyer?
Let me double check.
Well, while he's looking for that,
Yeah, you guys go ahead. Well,
All right, guys, this is what I'm going to recommend. You know the Google machine
Yeah, that's what I'm using right now,
or the DuckDuckGo?
which is just Google, by the way.
Google Berrien County GOP.
Right.
You can go to a Meet the Candidate event in person live in Berrien County on the 25th. What time does it start?
it
Do you remember?
starts at 2, goes from 2 to 5.
2 to 5.
And the Senator Jonathan Lindsay
Yes.
is the moderator for that event.
And you know what? Anytime Senator Lindsay is going to be somewhere, you should probably go.
Yeah,
Right.
I like.
Right.
I like.
We'll get him back on the show.
By the way, you might have sent it to me, but
All right.
I have because I have one blank message. That doesn't show anything.
Google
so
the Berrien
I'm
County.
googling it right now.
It's
Yes.
$10.
People are carpooling from Jackson over to Berrien County. It's $10. You got to register. You can't just show up. So go to Berrien County.
And it's not
Berrien
just
County.
the chairs that are going to be there.
I think.
I know they have District 5 candidate for their chairs going to be
Right.
there. There's a whole slew of people.
So we had.
What was it? The Berrien County. What is the
Berrien
event?
County GOP, and that should pull it up.
It'll pop up. It's the only thing they got going on right now.
Okay, well, because it wants to pull the map, is what I was asking.
You can use the Google.
I found it.
You
Hold on.
found it.
I found it. Keep going. I'll get it on there.
So if you want something in person, that's 2 years ago we did this here in Jackson, but with the gala and some other things, we couldn't squeeze it in.
Is it the Watch Day Party?
No.
The Super Saturday?
That's it.
Okay.
Super Saturday. Candidate Super Saturday or whatever they call it.
Reach out to us. You might even be able to carpool with us. From what I find out today, there's quite a few people from Jackson going over to Berrien County on the 25th. Great opportunity to meet these people in person. And they're pretty cool in Berrien County.
Yep.
But we had James Asher here.
Yep.
He'll be there. I think Miguel will be there.
We had Miguel, too. They came the same night. That was interesting.
Yes. All right. So Jackson GOP last Saturday, I wanted to bring up Jackson GOP has created a youth coalition. We're trying to grow it. Listen, you got grandchildren, children, teenager up to age of 25. We are trying to build this youth coalition to get on high school campuses, college campuses, to recruit Republicans. We need the youth to win in 2 years. We need the youth to win in 4 years.
There it is.
There it is. That's everything going on in Berrien County. Oh.
And they are there. I see Karish and Miguel. I don't see James on there.
I thought James said he was going.
He probably will show
By
up.
the way, guys, well, that's his neck of the woods. Not only Senator Lindsay, but Representative Steve Cara, who's been on the show, is going to be there. And you know what? Steve's a badass.
I like Steve too. Yeah,
Steve's a badass.
You know, of all the guests we've had, that's not one of them I don't like.
I know.
I used to become buddies with him.
I don't put the ones. I don't put the ones.
He never kicks.
I don't put the ones
That
on here I don't like.
That's a good point.
We're not a controversial podcast. We are. We don't argue with people.
We've gotten more controversial.
Well, we don't argue with guests.
No.
We don't have debates. I'm not geared for that. You know. Yeah, it is what it is.
Speaking of debates, Charlie Kirk, if you ever get him, I'll debate him
By
right
the
now.
way,
let's debate him right now.
Miguel was here, and Miguel has that lead. We could maybe pull some strings.
All right, who's Miguel, kids?
Bring him on.
Miguel.
He is running for youth vice chair.
Okay, he is a longtime employee for Turning Point Action.
Yes,
and who is the head of Turning Point USA and Turning Point Action?
Oh, Charlie Kirk.
Now, I'm sure Miguel has met Charlie. Doesn't probably know him. Probably doesn't have his phone number.
Right.
But we know somebody that does, and that's Luke Malice, who's been on the show. And I made it real clear to Miguel the other day to remind his people that Jackson is the birthplace of the Republican Party, and that we have a birthday celebration every year on July 6th, and it'd be great to have Charlie Kirk here.
That'd be awesome. That would
And
be
to
amazing.
issue the challenge. I will debate him because I'm not a college kid, Charlie. Come at me.
Neither is he
he
anymore.
just dropped
No,
the
but that's all he
gauntlet.
does is debate college kids.
He just dropped the
He's
gauntlet.
25.
He said, "Get at me,
26.
bro.
I think he's 30 now.
Come
isn't
at
he,
me,
or
bro.
something?
Come at me, man.
Get at me, bro."
I ain't worried about him. I don't get paid $20,000 to show up.
Right.
Youth Coalition. We
Yes,
need to build
yes.
this.
Yes.
I want 50. I live in an area, parents are Trump supporters, and most of their kids are running around with Trump stuff. All of a
Right.
sudden, at school, it's mostly boys. I'll tell you what, put them to good use. Get a hold of us. I'll put you in touch with Landon,
Yep.
and we're building a Republican Youth Coalition out of Jackson.
Look, nothing speaks louder than high school and college kids working at a booth at the Hot Air Jubilee or at the fair.
Turning Point proved that.
Yeah.
Why do you think Charlie Kirk is the face of that? Because
Exactly.
he is.
I will say that personally, Jimmy, me, Jackie, a lot of old people need help,
Right.
and so that's why we're building the Youth Coalition.
Yeah.
Because we're tired.
But, our future, though,
It is.
our future starts with
We're
them.
going to stop Luke.
Children are our future, guys.
In order to keep winning elections,
Treat them
You
well and
said
let
it.
them
I
lead the
we
way.
got to make the youth vote Republican. And more of them are, probably after these wins,
Right.
the whole Trump thing might work. Now's the time.
Right.
So the Jackson GOP Youth Coalition, our boy Landon's in charge of
Yep.
that.
Yep.
He's a good old boy out of Grass Lake, Chelsea
Yeah.
area.
Just graduated high school,
Yeah.
firefighter.
Yeah, all that.
Oh, I didn't tell you what happened with him.
Or what?
We were at the county commissioners meeting,
Yeah,
and he walked up and talked to Sheriff Schutte,
yeah.
and they offered him an interview.
Oh, they need cops.
They offered him an interview on the spot.
Well, that's not cool. I don't want him to poach our sheriff. We're going to end up with that one guy.
How are we going to poach the
How's
sheriff?
he
Oh, I
offered?
might
He
have
offered
misheard you.
Landon.
Landon.
He
Oh,
offered.
Landon. Okay, I'm sorry.
He offered Landon.
I'm
an
only
interview.
half listening because I'm also doing other things.
Right.
By the way, did you see at our
By the way, Charlie's 31.
Okay.
I'm just letting everybody know.
Okay.
I threw out some misinformation.
Boy, he's got it going on for 31, don't he? That's a podcaster thing.
No, it's not even a podcaster thing. He's just arrogant.
Oh, real
Yeah,
quick before
no,
we.
no, it's worse than his arrogancy is the other. Why am I forgetting his name? Real cocky son of a bitch. Talks Republican stuff. I wish I
He
had.
got a
Russell
podcast?
Brand?
Huh?
James Crowder.
No.
James Crowder.
Who am I thinking
He's
of?
pals with the hot black girl. Never mind.
You're talking about Candace
Candace
Owens?
Owens.
Candace Owens'
he's
boy?
friends with
He's
Candace.
along that line. Never mind.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Move on. Move on.
He's not
If you
important to me.
can't remember his name, he's not that big.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm coming at you,
Sorry,
Charlie.
Russell.
We're worried about Charlie Kirk right now.
Are we getting out of here or something?
Whatever. I
It's
don't.
hot in here.
Oh, we're what are we at? Like an hour,
Yeah,
Brought
we're
up
there.
the youth.
hour and 10 minutes. Yeah. I did want to say you're talking about boring websites and your guys' website. Well, you can also go to grandmasboypodcast.com, click on stick to the plan, and then you can also click donate there, and you can donate to the show
There you
through
go.
the Ko-Fi.
By the way,
There you
know what
go.
would be
I didn't
nice?
even know that was a thing.
Yeah, I just got it figured out.
Nice.
By the way,
We have a phone number coming
we,
too.
we,
Next
we,
week.
we don't plan on making a living out of this, although it'd be great.
I plan on
But
it.
it'd be nice if every now and then, we had enough money after the stream go buy lunch.
Well, one time we've got one
Buy me a
donation ever
coffee.
in it. Yeah, we got one donation ever, and that was from one of my super fans from my morning show, and she's not even in. She's in California.
See,
And he spent it, not on his dad.
that could be a thing.
What did I spend it on? No, I bought cords
You
for the
did.
podcast,
You
so
did.
eat my butt.
If we could get people to watch our show, call in and ask us questions, and buy us coffees, I'd be happy with
Well,
that.
I went for lunch, and you're aiming lower. For
Yeah,
coffee.
Because you got to start small.
I got
No.
coffee over here, kids.
Yeah,
gotta
we
start
want
small.
food.
Somebody said
Okay,
it's
fine.
30
Somebody give me
Oh.
enough money to take them to Red Lobster.
Somebody.
No. You go.
No.
Let's get a Shamrock. We know you listen.
Send us 30.
John Wilson. You can be our sponsor. We show up. It's just 3 cheeseburgers. What does that cost you? Like $11?
I'm
Name
thinking-
dropping.
I'm thinking $30 tops. The 3 of us
There
after
you
the
go.
stream, we go to the Shamrock and enjoy a burger and fry and a Pepsi. Okay?
There you
Yeah,
go.
Shamrock. Get on that. Figure that out.
$30, guys. Can you buy us lunch?
Yeah.
And when we do our show early enough in the day, we could be on location.
We've done on location, and it was one of our better streams at the fair.
Oh, at the fair.
We could
Well,
live-
that was because that was pre-recorded.
That
We
was
could-
still fine.
It's
Yeah, it worked out
pre-recorded is fine. We could still be on location at the Shamrock and
We had
do a
great guests,
commercial
though,
for them.
You know, they do shit like that.
I bet
now.
you they have decent Wi-Fi.
I bet you they
I bet
do.
they don't.
I bet you
Oh,
it's
I
better
bet it's
than
better
here.
than here.
I'm using my phone.
We're on hotspot.
You know, they don't even take credit card down to the Shamrock. You got to have cash. So
Yeah.
internet isn't important. They probably got old school cable to the TVs.
That's okay.
Yeah,
At least we can watch the Lions game.
that's why we like the Shamrock.
You didn't
Speaking
even
of-
have old school cable to your TV.
Speaking of Lions game,
Oh, you were wrong about who we would end up playing?
I was.
Yeah, because Green Bay lost. And
Yes.
Yeah.
I was ready for. I was honestly ready for the Vikings to come back,
And
or
those-
Matt Stafford and the stupid ass Rams.
Yep.
And now it's the Commanders,
Yep. The Washington Commanders, which
Who are those guys?
right? Oh,
Redskins.
you remember them? They were the Redskins.
I know it.
we can't say that.
You
We're
can.
on YouTube.
Oh,
No,
YouTube,
you
we're
can.
done.
We're done.
You know why we can
You know-
say that? Because the Native Americans have said
Formally.
that was a respect and honor
Yes.
for us.
Yeah, but
The libs ruined it.
but they had
Well-
to change the freaking Cleveland Indians to the what is it the what are they? Shoot. Anyways,
Yeah.
I just totally drew a blank
That's what I
because
do.
that's how stupid it is.
Right. It doesn't even make sense. It's not even like any. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right. Want to remind everybody, Gala, we got less than 50 tickets. He said 100. I think there's less than 50 tickets. You need to get on JXN GOP right now. By the way, the event was sold out,
right.
and the Commonwealth and the caterers provided more table space so we could sell more tickets.
This is to celebrate Trump, and they
so
were
they
like,
gave
"Hey,
us
we'll
100
get you
more
some more."
tickets. I think we sold 50 of them. There
Yeah.
might be 50 left. JXNGOP.org. You got to get. We'll have the Lions game on, and we're going to get drunk.
And
we're going to eat
dance.
good.
I
And we're
would-
going to DJ Johnny Jet.
DJ, oh, see, and every time you say that, it's weird to me because
JT.
I know him differently, but he wasn't Johnny Jet back then.
No, he's just JT.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay,
Kevin, when we worked with him, we didn't like him a whole lot because
he's kind of a prick.
no.
I'll say it.
We were raised together to never allow another DJ to interfere with your gig.
I didn't even like him.
And but he has turned out to be one of the best DJs in
No,
town.
actually, he is a good guy.
Yeah, he works at Nightlights every weekend.
He does great weddings. He does great anything, and he is the Jackson GOP DJ. We've used him, I don't know, 6-8 times in
Right.
the last couple of years, and he knows how to do the dinner music, the Trump music, and then how to
Yeah.
get jiggy with
a
it.
The
little-
Guardians, by the way,
a
the
little
Guardians
birdie
is
told
Cleveland
me.
Indians.
The Guardians.
Yeah,
A little birdie told me that as the party goes later into the evening, if certain chairmen get a little more drunk, there might be karaoke.
karaoke.
So I know JT has karaoke. I don't know if he brings it with me.
I was just told
I wouldn't be
that.
opposed to that.
Not for the whole evening.
My
but
wife would really, really like that.
just a chairman
But
spotlight.
there's others. Many in the Jackson GOP would probably be like, Russ sings?
Not very well, but he does sing.
I'm a better karaoke person than a lot.
I-
Didn't
yeah,
the wife?
I will refrain.
Yeah. I wasn't planning on it. I want to get jiggy with
It's
it.
not that I can't sing.
Nah.
But
You
my
dig with it.
song
What's that?
choices
The
wouldn't be
Cupid
very
Shuffle,
good.
all that fun stuff that old people
Well,
like.
yeah, the Cupid Shuffle's the
Electric
new.
slide. That's what you like.
Well, it used to be at weddings. It used to be the electric slide, and then it became the cha-cha slide was the
Right.
one.
Yeah.
And now it's the Cupid Shuffle. That's when you know that the old people are gone and it's time to get it in.
No. That's when the wobble comes on.
No. No one has figured out the wobble yet. It's still very much the
But
Cupid
when
Shuffle.
you're drunk and you're watching the wobble take place in front of you, it's
It makes
entertaining.
no sense.
It'll be
It's entertaining.
It's entertaining if you find people that like it, but everyone knows the Cupid Shuffle. Want to know why? Because they tell you how to do it.
Right.
Oh, I
the
forgot
left.
one more announcement. February.
Yes. Careful.
Yeah. February EC, when is it?
February EC is the
February
12th.
the 13th.
13th.
Under the Oak Speaker Series with
Michon.
Candidate. For Michigan GOP chair, Michon Maddock.
Yes. And by then, she'll, oh no, it'll be like 1 week before she finds out who
Right
wins.
before the convention, come and meet Michon.
Yep.
I think she's a top contender for this. I'm sure it's disputed. I think the top two contenders are probably Greenlee and Maddock.
But there's always a
Rumstead,
dark horse
I
out there.
think
You
he's
never
got-
know.
But that's where I'm feeling. That can be disputed, probably. But she is a top contender, been involved in Michigan Republican politics for a long
Absolutely.
time. Her husband is a state representative and voted one of the most conservatives ever.
Ever.
So Michon
Right.
will be here. Tickets will be available after the gala.
Right.
After the
Right.
gala. Spend your money at the gala, and then if you have enough money to buy
The gala
tickets.
is on the 18th. On the 20th, we'll have tickets available. Just give me a day to get
All right.
everything set up.
Yeah,
No.
flyer on that. Kevin, what you got going on, Grandma?
Absolutely nothing new. I do want to say about this show, though, starting next week, I just got it all ironed out, I think, that there will be a hotline number.
There you go. Call
that
in.
we can call, that you can
Call
call
in.
in, or you can text
people are
it.
going to prank us.
That's
I
okay.
know, I'll screen them, and I'll push the idiots over to you guys. And let you
Bring on
handle
the
it.
prank.
I don't care about pranks.
Bring them on.
Uh,
I'll drink 3 cups of coffee beforehand. I'll be on.
oh, no,
Bring them on.
that's
Right.
I set up one for my other show, and I'm like, no, I welcome the trolls.
that's
Let's
Exactly.
go. That's
Maybe
pretty good.
that's-
But I'm
we'll
going to tell
start
you,
drinking bourbon on the stream.
Don't put me on the phone, on the internet, and drunk. That's
just saying.
we won't be on YouTube.
I'm just saying, I like trolls because they
Oh, I
can be
love trolls.
fun. And, quick wit is a good thing.
And that's where I started, was a troll. There's no better trolls than me. Trust me, you can't out troll me.
Kicks reacts nothing because you've been.
Busy with the
You've been
party.
putting some stuff up. I saw a couple shorts.
Yeah, I dropped a few shorts, but
Okay, okay.
nothing big. Just too busy with the party right now. I want to get the website settled. I want to get the gala out of the way and some of the other little tweaks, and then I got to get my team together to start doing all of the online
Yeah.
um,
Exciting
platform
stuff.
stuff, the TikTok and the Instagram and everything.
Jackson
I need.
GOP on the TikTok.
Yeah, we're on the tickety talk.
And
I've been working on the TikTok.
You know what?
It's a necessary evil
It
TikTok-
is unfortunate.
until the Supreme Court shuts it down.
TikTok and Facebook Reels are the most addicting thing ever. An hour can go by before you know it. You're just when you
Right.
click one, you go, oh, watch another, and another, and another, and another, and another.
Yep.
Boy, oh boy. And I like once the algorithm gets used to you, like TikTok, it feeds me all the shit that I like. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, I think that's it.
I think that's everything I got.
Thank you for watching.
Guys, make sure you follow this channel, like this video, share it to all your friends.
Make sure you
And,
check out everything in the description box below.
Everything's down there. Everything we talked about, I think. Next week, we might be doing the inauguration.
We'll talk about this as we're packing up today because it would be cool, but whoa.
We might,
Well,
and we might have Amber on.
If you don't want to miss it, right? Turn the notifications on.
yeah. Rebel has them too.
Flip
So,
your notifications on. So if we do decide to go during inauguration, you'll know. If we wait till after, you'll know.
Also, one last thing, guys. Make sure you go and like our Facebook. We need 100 followers before we can go on live on Facebook.
Right. What are we at right now?
Plan Pod.
Yep, Stick to the Plan Pod is down in the description. I don't even know. I didn't look.
Post
15
your
maybe.
Jackson news information there.
Yeah, news
Please,
and stuff.
It would be helpful.
And Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter.com/PlanPod.
Or statewide, anything. Throw it over there.
Anything.
Throw it over there.
Yeah, just put things in the stuff.
Yeah.
All right, we're out of here.
All right.
All right,
Take
bye.
care, guys.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.